Welcome back. It is Thursday again, and it's not just Thursday today, it's Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving and thanks for being here. You've got big dreams, but every time you want to take that next step, you seem to freeze. In this video, we'll talk about why fear is keeping us stuck and how we can break free of that. Let's get into it. I think a lot of times when we feel stuck, it's not really that we're stuck and we don't know the next step. It's more that we feel afraid. For some of us, it could be the fear of actually succeeding. Like what does our life look like if we actually do succeed in doing what we're scared to go do? A personal experience that I had with this was when I started taking Instagram a lot more seriously and I wanted to actually start seeing results and numbers. I was pushing it back for weeks because I was afraid that I was going to succeed. I guess in a lot of ways, I was afraid that it was going to have a negative impact in other areas of my life. And I was afraid of that success. I was afraid that that success was going to get in the way of my marriage and get in the way of me going to the gym. I thought I wanted the opportunities. I thought I wanted the connections. And so after a while, I decided to take the first step and I went all in for 4 months. And sure enough, 4 months later, I started seeing those numbers. I started gaining thousands of followers, started seeing over a couple 100,000 views on some of my videos. And I was getting everything that I wanted to get. But what I was afraid of from the beginning started to become true. The success that I was seeing started to amplify those fears. Even though I got to the end of that 4 months, and after I started seeing that success, I realized that I didn't want to be putting that time into that thing. If I had never started, I would still probably be waking up every day wondering what my life would be like if I did decide to just go all in. What I've started to notice is that fear isn't as much of an enemy as we think it is. It's almost in a lot of ways more of like a signal. When you start to feel that fear, it's probably because it's something that you know that you need to do. And once you realize that fear is that signal, you can learn to take control of it. So the question is, what are the steps that we need to take to be able to start to address that fear so that we can start working towards our goals? Step number 1, name your fear. So what is it that we're actually afraid of? Are we afraid of being judged? Are we afraid of success? Whatever that is that's scaring us, we need to write that down because clarity kills fear. Step number 2 is we need to minimize the problem. One thing that I've noticed is that fear grows and grows and grows the bigger the task. So one thing that we can do to mitigate that is to break it down into small, manageable steps. So for example, instead of saying, I really want to start a YouTube channel, say, I'm going to spend 30 minutes today figuring out what type of videos I would like to actually make. Step number 3 is take action. Fear thrives on inaction. It's very much like stress. Jeff Bezos spoke on this and it's very applicable to fear. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that real quick.
I find as soon as I identify it and make the first phone call or send off the first email message or whatever it is that we're gonna do to start to address that situation, even if it's not solved, the mere fact that we're addressing it dramatically reduces any stress that might come from it. So stress comes from ignoring things that you shouldn't be ignoring.
So as you can see, when you're not doing something, it can stress you out, and the same is true with fear. Once you take that first step to actually confront the fear, you realize that what's scaring you is not nearly as scary as you think, and the fear and the stress goes down. And step number 4 is build a routine. So for me, my goal is to create a YouTube channel. But I know that if I put way too much pressure on myself, that it'll be a week or 2 before I totally give up. So what I did is I just told myself every Thursday for 2 years straight, I'm going to post a video. Whether the video is something like this, where it's just off my iPhone, or whether it's something that I can put more time and energy into using my camera, color grading, doing something that makes it look a lot better. What I really need to do is just post every Thursday. And the beautiful thing is once you commit to doing something on a routine, to do something regularly, all the fear goes away because now it's not up to whether or not you're going to be successful, whether or not you're going to make money from doing whatever you think you want to do. But it all comes down to, am I actually just doing the thing that I committed to doing? And if you're doing that thing, then you don't have to be worried about it anymore. You just have to see what happens from there and make minor adjustments to hopefully improve and get better. This is exactly what I did when starting my YouTube channel. I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for at least the last 5 or 10 years. I think it's something that's crossed my mind and probably most people's minds many of times because there's so much opportunity that comes with that and it's such an exciting thing to pursue. But it's so easy for things to get in your way. I'm too afraid to talk to a camera. I'm not articulate enough. People aren't going to want to watch me. There's so many things that you can tell yourself that will prevent you from being able to take that first step. So again, what I did was I just committed to posting 1 video a week on YouTube every week, every Thursday for 2 years. And by the end of the 2 years, whatever happens, happens. But if I had done this 10 years ago, then I would now be 10 years into my journey, and I would certainly be further than if I had just started it now. So my invitation to you guys, whether it's YouTube or starting a business or whatever it is that you've been wanting to do, whatever it is that you feel stuck in, take action and make a routine. I know that if you at least start by writing down what's scaring you, it's gonna make it a lot easier for you to figure out how to get to the next step. And the best part is I am at the very beginning of this journey. That means if you accept my challenge and start right now, then we'll be on the same path at the same time. Would love for you to join me so we can support each other and help each other as we try to work towards those goals that we've been wanting to do for so long. Just remember, you're not stuck, you're scared. Address that fear, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Don't forget to subscribe.